CCM just held its annual convention. Local leaders gathered together for informative workshops, interactive discussions, networking opportunities, and of course, the exhibit hall. The Municipal Voice was on the convention floor to talk to exhibitors, attendees, and speakers. The Municipal Voice is the Connecticut Conference of Municipalities podcast in collaboration with WNHH LP 103.5 FM. I'm your host, Matt Ford. As always, be sure to give us a like and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. CCM's Municipal Voice podcast continues to present a key forum on important state-local issues. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect the consensus views of CCM or member municipal leaders. And I am here with Ryan from the UConn School of Public Policy.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
Of course. Nice to have
So we've had you here today for several reasons, but one of the first ones this morning is you are working with us now on our CCMO program. Can you tell us a little bit about UConn's involvement in that?
Sure. Yeah, so we're the new academic partner with CCM supporting the CCMO, the Certified Connecticut Municipal Official Program, and also the Certified Civic Policy Leader CCPL program. Say that 5 times fast.
Which is our newer portion of that, yeah.
Yes, so we're helping that program. So on top of supporting some of the CCMO webinars, we're also encouraging folks to take part in our PSLUG programming, which are these in-person workshops that we do on our UConn campus, so that students in the program can participate virtually from wherever they are in the municipalities and then come to our campuses, interact and network with folks, and to further their learning on that space. So it's a combination of online and in-person learning to advance the kind of municipal-focused content. And those topics rotate on an annual basis. So if there's some topics that are coming up one year that people are interested in, we might repeat some of those, but if there's new topics that come up, hot button issues, things like that, we try to incorporate those in the programming as well.
That's cool because people need to recertify every once in a while to stay a CCMO, and so you're offering some new stuff to learn when they do, so they have to redo the same courses.
Exactly. There's some
continue to grow.
Yeah, there's some fundamental things that we do, like grant writing is popular every year, but when we see trends in AI change, we'll do new sessions on that. When we see new things in public finance, new management styles, new training that would help mid-level managers, people that are trying to advance vertically within the municipalities or perhaps move around a little bit within the spaces that they're in, just kind of meet them where they're at and look for those topics.
So you're here today, you're working with CCM, so obviously you think CCM does good work. What was it about CCM and our mission that made us a good fit with the public policy?
Sure. So our school, one of our main missions is to support our local public sector partners, right? That's state agencies, municipalities, nonprofits, everyone doing work for the public good. So whatever we can do to advance the next generation of public servants, whether that's people in the CCMO program, students in our programs, what we want to do is help anybody who wants to help their communities. And that was a natural fit with what CCM does in support of all of our different member municipalities across the state. We have students and participants that come from our programs from all over the state and beyond. And we figured, what other ways can we engage with our local partners outside of just the academic classroom? And it was these types of professional training programs. That's
really cool. And so I imagine that you're getting people in through this program that you wouldn't probably see otherwise.
Yes. So we're primarily based at the UConn Hartford campus up at the capital city, but we have folks coming from all over the place, but they wouldn't know about us, we wouldn't know about them. And CCM has actually helped extend our brand a bit and recognition of the programs, because there's a lot of people that recognize what UConn is as an institution very broadly, but they don't know about the granular level of support and interaction and kind of development they can get from these different programs. So it's been really beneficial. We have people from niche corner municipal offices that may never have come to a training like this, but they were encouraged to from the CCMO program and CCPL, and now they're engaged with our other academic and professional development content. So we're really excited to see more people coming to our campus and more people taking part in our programs and investing into what CCM is doing as well.
So you talk about how you're kind of a little bit separate from some of the other parts of UConn. What is it specifically that your school focuses on?
Right. So our School of Public Policy, it's within one of our colleges of liberal arts and within UConn itself, but our main focus is trying to train folks that want to go be leaders in public service organizations or even in the private sector, but be able to take skills that will help them understand how policy is developed and also understanding what works and what doesn't work about different policy approaches. So we're looking at our MPP program, which is a Master of Public Policy, is really it's an applied econometrics program, trying to take data about, hey, what is going on in society right now, and we've tried different things to fix it. Are those fixes actually working? And actually training students to be able to give them the academic skills to be able to quantitatively assess those things. And on the MPA side, public administration, trying to train managers to be able to be empathetic, to be able to understand how to make ethical decisions and how to make decisions and prioritize things that advance the greater good and not necessarily just their own personal good.
Yeah.
So our focus is to train these next leaders that are going to be in the forefront of public service, doing work in their communities. We want to give them the skills to be able to advance that work even further.
Great. Ryan, thanks for talking with us today.
Thank you very much.
Governor Lamont joined us for lunch and addressed the assembled crowd.
Hey, thank you, Laura. Hey, everybody. Yeah, you're right. Government gets kicked around a lot until you need it, and then you hear loud and clear what people need. And let me just say, first of all, thank God for the mayors and first selectmen. You guys know how to get things done. You're looking for a solution. Legislators often looking for an issue, often looking for a talking point. Not mayors, not first selectmen. I've been doing this for a while. I know my audience, by the way. But I'll tell you, I just follow up on what Laura was saying. What a mess it was during the shutdown. And a bunch of folks down there in Washington, back and forth, arguing about something. And what is a paid furlough? Those words don't mean anything to a mayor or first selectman. I mean, my nurses, my state troopers, my corrections guys, your municipal police, they can't go on a paid furlough. What are they talking about? We got to take care of people. We got to get the job done. And that's what mayors do. They get the job done. We have a housing shortage in this state. You're not serious about affordability unless you make it easier for young families to buy their first home, unless you make it easier for mom and dad to downsize so they can stay in the place they want. I heard from every single business in the state, including many in your towns, they're not going to grow, they're not going to expand unless there's a place for workers to live. It's a key to economic development, it's key to affordability. There was a general sense, perhaps outside of the Republicans in the state Senate, that we needed more housing. And what's the best way to get there? And legislature pushed pretty hard, but I thought they pushed without having you at the table. They pushed sort of in spite of the mayors and first selectmen. And they said, look, this is the number of units we got to do. Towns have got to go do these number of units. And it was a thoughtful policy, but my experience coming back to COVID and beyond is you got to have the mayors and first selectmen at the table. And so we had a bit of a back and forth on housing, and ended up having to veto that bill. But I wanted not to veto and walk away, which is what often happens in the political world. I wanted to make sure we came back with a better bill. And I talked to Joe DeLong, and I talked to Betsy, and I talked to more than a few of you. Believe it or not, I actually talked to a lot of legislators on both sides of the aisle as well, saying, look, we've got to come together. Our mayors and first selectmen, they're the ones that implement this bill. They've got something called planning and zoning. They got to do a little more planning. They're pretty good at zoning. And how can we work together to make sure the state can be your partner? Make sure we give you the tools you need to make sure that your town, you know where it's going to be in the next 5 or 10 years. You tell us where you want it to be. You tell us where you want that housing to go, and we'll be there as your partner to get it done. And, Betsy said, look, our smaller towns, they want housing too, but they don't have sewer and water. Stop telling us you're going to deprioritize somebody unless they get housing. And I said, Betsy, let's work with cost. You tell us where you want that to be in your town, and we'll be there to make sure sewer and water, whatever you need, is the infrastructure, we'll be there as your partner. And a lot of our smaller towns, they're shrinking. A lot of our cities are growing. Our smaller towns are shrinking. I got to do everything I can to make sure it's a place where young people can start. I was in Sherman the other day, and there there weren't many teens, so they turned teen center into a community center, and the community center into housing, just so people could afford to get a start. I heard loud and clear from a lot of folks in the legislature, in many of you, that we don't want to compromise local control. And many of the legislators said we're not going to compromise local control and walked out of my office. A lot of mayors and Joe DeLong and the COGS, a couple of guys named Matt and the COGS, said, look, I'll show you how we can do this together to make it work. And we get the job done. We don't just needle away the problem, we find a solution. And that's where we started coming together. It was CCM that really took the lead and saying, look, we got to work also. I want the towns to have the tools they need to make sure we know what their town, they know what their town's going to look like in 5 years and how we can be there as their partner. And a lot of other towns, smaller towns, said, I want to do this. I want to do it in association with the COGS. And Joe said, this is really important because a lot of sewer and water things don't stop at the border. You know, so it's better if the towns can work together. And a lot of our smaller towns here are saying, I don't have the planning capability to do this. So we said, we'll give, you know, a couple $100,000 per COG, so the planning is right there at that COG level, so you have people you can work with, and the COG can come up with some solutions, but at the end of the day, it is your call. You make the call. You take the lead. You tell us how you want that housing to go, and we'll be there as your partner. Look, I didn't like all the, you know, NIMBY stuff, as if we're tearing up people's backyards. You know, when I'm not in Hartford, I'm in Greenwich. And, you know, I've been down there for many years now. And every local election, I get a flyer. And the flyer has a picture of somebody's nice ranch on an acre of land next to the Empire State Building. Because that's what's happening when you lose your local control. That's, look, I work with the mayors, and everybody's I'm talking to is saying, look, I've got this old parking lot. I've got this old mill. I have a shopping center in my suburban town that is really not up to snuff. I've got all these commercial buildings that are sort of half empty, and the assessed value of them is going down. What can we do to take advantage of those underdeveloped facilities and turn them back into housing? And you take that, you know, everybody's going through these horrible reassessments, and a lot of what's crushing you right now is that you see commercial valuations going down. As they go down, that puts more of a load on the residential. So we're trying to counteract that, trying to do everything we can to help you grow your grand list. And one way we do that is to say, look, we'll take some of that commercial, we'll give you the flexibility to turn that from commercial into residential. And then I heard from, I don't know, Mike Frieda, Rudy Marconi said, watch out, Governor, I don't want this commercial to just go into residential, especially for the larger ones, because I want my town to look alive on a Thursday evening. That requires restaurant and retail and something on that first floor, not just residential. And so we put that into account, and we took and listened to your advice and put that into the bill, so you have that flexibility. I heard from a lot of you saying, look, the parking thing, you're hamstringing me. I'm not going to have any control over parking, and I've got, you know, parking jams in my community. So we made sure that you had flexibility when it came to parking, you know, especially for those larger facilities and even for the smaller ones, so that you were able to make sure it worked for your community. Because every community is different, and nobody knows your community like you know your community.
You are listening to the Municipal Voice on WNHH 103.5 FM. We're coming to you from the exhibit floor here at the 2025 CCM Convention, and we are with Rick from Belfour. Tell us a little bit about what Belfour Property Restoration does.
So we are a company that specializes in emergency response to fire, water, storm damage, essentially any kind of building disaster you can think of. You should think of Belfour as your trusted partner to help you get through it. So we do emergency response through mitigation and then straight through to repairs.
So after the fire trucks come and everything, you're after that,
we're after that,
cleaning up, making a mess, you're making everything right again.
Right, exactly. We're there to clean up the site, secure the property if need be, and get people back to operating conditions.
And how long has Belfour been at this?
We are coming up on our 80th year.
Oh, wow.
1946.
Okay.
Yep.
So very established.
Yes. Yeah.
And why do you think it's important to be at an event like the CCM Convention?
Certainly, it's the connections that you make and having a presence supporting the organization as a whole as well. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, do you see municipalities as a strong partner that you work with a lot? Like,
absolutely.
You get called on a lot for big buildings and things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Disasters of all sizes. So
all sizes.
It could be small. It doesn't have to be a catastrophic event. But we can certainly support it if it is, So yeah, town halls, libraries, they have issues just like every other structure.
Yeah.
So we
is there something that has changed in the business since you've been in it? Is there any kind of new advances that you're excited about?
There's always technology that's advancing, right? So, and Belfour is great because we stay on the leading edge of that technology. So it's just whether it's different best practices, certainly detection devices that you can use, for water, things like that. So, absolutely.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, Rick, thanks for talking with us today. Thanks for having you here.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Also during lunch, we presented the Municipal Excellence Awards.
Our first award that we're giving is the Joel Kogan Lifetime Achievement Award. This award is given to those who have dedicated a significant amount of time to their community over an extended period. The recipient of this year's Joel Kogan Lifetime Achievement Award is Robert Bob Mora, the retired First Selectman of Bolton. Now, Bob has been an integral part of the town of Bolton for 65 years as a leader serving in numerous roles, including First Selectman, Board of Selectmen, Pollution Control, Volunteer Firefighter, Deputy Chief, Board of Tax Review, Health District Member, Justice of the Peace, Lake Advisory Committee, Parks and Rec Coordinator of Youth Activities and Services, the Zoning Board of Appeals, and the 300th Committee to celebrate the town of Bolton's birthday, among others.
I'd like to thank you, everyone, and I'm deeply honored and really humbled for this award. Being recognized for something that, frankly, you love doing your entire life is just something it's incredibly awesome. No other word.
We give the Lee Award to recipients who have developed unique and creative projects and programs that increase the effectiveness of local government. And this year's Richard C. Lee Award is going to Sandra Allen Gaithier, the first Selectwoman of Preston. For more than 20 years, Sandra has served as Preston's #1 champion and serving in many roles. The Zoning Board of Appeals, the Ethics Commission, the Board of Education, the Board of Finance, culminating in her leadership as First Selectwoman. Elected to her first term in November of 2019, Sandra faced the unprecedented challenge of leading the town through the onset of the pandemic just months into her tenure. She turned crisis into opportunity, laying the groundwork for innovation, collaboration, and long-term community growth.
Thank you very much. I'm honored for this award, and I think everybody in this room believes in giving back, which is one of the reasons why I decided to run as First Selectwoman back in 2019. Similar to what my predecessor said for the Lifetime Achievement Award, you can't do it by yourself.
Visiting our exhibit hall, we spoke with Bus Patrol.
All right. We're coming to you from the 2025 CCM Convention here at the Mohegan Sun Convention Center, and I'm here with Brad from Bus Patrol. Nice to see you, Brad.
It's so good to meet you.
So, first of all, what is Bus Patrol?
Bus Patrol is a company that automatically enforces the stop sign on the school bus.
Okay.
So we call it stop arm enforcement. And so what we do is we partner with municipalities in Connecticut to make sure that folks are learning not to pass the school bus when it's picking up or dropping off children.
And how big of a problem is that?
It's a huge problem. We're learning, we've been around since 2017, and we're learning that it is not something that is specific to any particular state or any particular rural or urban community. It is something that we see, as you're seeing on the footage that we're showing here, it is something that is pretty community agnostic. Right now, we're partnered with Danbury, Bridgeport, and Shelton. We've also recently partnered with North Haven, Stratford, New Haven, and Waterbury. And so all of these communities are realizing that this is a massive problem that needs to be addressed. And so 20,000 tickets last year in Bridgeport alone.
In Bridgeport alone?
Just Bridgeport alone, 20,000 tickets.
For buses.
And that's not the number of people that passed. That's the number of tickets that actually were sent out.
That's the ones they caught.
That's the number of tickets that were actually sent out by that Bridgeport said they wanted to send. So 20,000 tickets in Bridgeport alone. It is a huge, massive problem. We're making progress. So from September to June, 15% reduction in illegal passings of school buses in Bridgeport. So we're excited to do this.
So if a town's looking at this as a way to continue to make more and more money, not necessarily because it is in fact going to reduce the problem, is what you're hoping?
Yeah, so I mean, certainly there is a revenue aspect of this program. There is ticket revenue to be made here. I think people have seen the revenue that Bridgeport, Shelton, and Danbury are realizing here. It won't be the financial windfall in the third, fourth, and fifth year that it is in the first and second, and I hope that we are judged on that as a success.
Yeah, exactly. Safety is the goal.
Exactly. This is a student safety program. The goal of this program is to reduce the number of stop arm infractions, and so in doing so, that revenue will drop. There will always be revenue. What I tell folks is cars are getting more screens, not fewer. Distracted driving is a growing concern. You'll always have younger drivers. What we see in the programs that have existed for 5, 6, 7 years is that stop arm infractions are never completely eliminated. We can get them down, sometimes up to 60, 70%, but there will always be stop arm infractions. There will always be revenue to pay for and sometimes revenue for the district. It won't be the financial windfall in the third.
Not windfall, but it might be offset the cost of being part of bus patrol or something.
And we judge that as a success.
So we're standing by one of your buses here. There's a little doohickey here. Tell me about your little device on the bus. This is part of the technology that does all this.
Absolutely. This is sort of the flagship camera we have on our bus here, right behind the stop sign on the school bus. And so this is one of the many pieces of our technology that folks will start seeing on our school buses around the state. And so this is monitoring whenever the yellows and reds are activated. This camera will wake up when the yellows on the school bus
So the bus driver is getting ready to make a stop, the yellows and reds comes on, this turns on.
This starts activating. This wakes up, this starts recording. It's not gathering infractions because it's not illegal to pass the school bus at that time, but it starts gathering it starts gathering footage just so you have the full context of how long the yellows were on, how long cars had to stop, and the footage will tell you that the yellow light was on. Then that footage will start telling you, the indicator will turn red. You know that the red light is on and that cars are supposed to stop. They don't always, right? And so that's when this system is enabled with what we call AVA AI, so automated violation analysis. And AVA is going to start collecting those violations. Anytime a car passes the stop sign on the school bus, AVA is going to grab that infraction. That's sort of the first pass. And this is just one camera. So in addition to this camera, we also have a fisheye lens up top. We have a rear-facing camera, a front-facing camera, and we have an LTE antenna on the top of the bus so that we are constantly connected and we are getting these infractions immediately. And so
so they're transmitted live back to the system
all the time. We are constantly connected, and that's how our interior and exterior cameras that we give to the districts for free as part of the program, they are always connected and they can live view and watch their buses anytime they want.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's a free part of the program that districts get, and it's because we have the LTE antenna on there, they can just watch live view on their buses anytime. And so, the AVA collects the infractions, and then we have 2 humans that watch every piece of footage. Both of those humans have to say, yes, that's a legitimate infraction before it goes to the city.
Okay, so you can't get some sort of crazy AI mistake.
Exactly.
And a person's going to look at it.
First pass. AI is the first pass, and AVA's really, really good, but we have to have 2 humans review and say yes at the company before it goes over to the city. Then the city has someone watch every single piece of footage. 30 to 60 seconds, they watch the tape, they click yes or no.
Yes, they did pass it.
Exactly.
It was right. Yeah.
Only when the city hits yes, we print, we mail, we handle payment processing, and we'll schedule hearings for you.
That's really cool. So we're standing here today at the CCM Convention.
Yeah.
Why do you think that an organization like CCM is important to work with?
I think CCM has been, for a long time now, CCM has been critical for municipalities. As a former elected official myself, CCM has been a critical partner to municipalities around the state, not only for collaborating on research, collaborating on, across regions and across the state, working with vendors. CCM has been a partner not only to me at a municipal level, but as a vendor to be able to make connections.
Great.
Our charity partner this year was United Way and their Tommy Toy Drive.
Hey, we're here at the CCM Convention 2025, and we're here with Casey. Casey, you're here with the United Way of Southeastern Connecticut. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Sure. So I'm actually a loaned employee from General Dynamics Electric Boat.
Okay.
I help out with the United Way's campaigns from, I believe, September till just around the beginning of January.
Okay.
So they have a couple of extra hands when we're going to be taking care of things like this, the important stuff that when you're helping out the community like the United Way does, you're able to cover all fronts. But today we're here taking donations for the Tommy Toy charity drive that we have going on.
Yeah. So Electric Boat works with the United Way, their partners?
Yeah, it's a relationship that's been fostering ever since, I have to think. I can tell you that the food center that's part of our United Way started back in '88 because of a strike that went on, and to help people that were out on that strike.
A strike at
Electric Boat?
Okay.
Yeah. But again, that's kind of how it goes. You have to have a healthy relationship between the community and the businesses that are in it. And I feel that the United Way has definitely been able to do that for a lot of the folks in our community.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that when it was offered to me by my union president, that I jumped on that opportunity to be able to help the community with the United Way like I have been.
That's great.
Yeah.
And so you said that the Tommy Toy Fund is happening right now. Where can people learn more about that, donate, etc.?
Well, there's a number of places that you can go. Probably the best place to get most of the information is to go to the United Way of Southeastern Connecticut's website.
Okay.
You could also stop by places like the Gemma Moran Food Center
Okay.
or the Gales Ferry facility that we have. These are all things that you'll be able to get information for through our website or just a simple Google search. There's going to be documents at most of our facilities that are going to have like a QR code that allow us to let you register if you have an agency that would like to pick up any of our toy donations, or if you'd just like to come in and be able to donate something that you have.
So organizations, individuals,
Yep.
there's ways for them all to participate.
Absolutely. We have a number of police unions, a number of private businesses, a number of different folks that have really been coming through for the community to donate the majority of our toy donations this season.
Yeah. And obviously we're here at CCM's convention. Do you work with the local towns to help collect things, or are there distribution or collection points with any of the local communities?
Absolutely. I do know that the United Way on the food bank side of things just recently, especially during the shutdown and coming up on Thanksgiving, we had a number of turkey drives. And we were able to work directly with a number of towns in the area like New London and Groton to be able to go to places like Stop and Shop or ShopRite, places where, folks are going to be able to buy a spare turkey or something like that, and they can just drop it into one of our watermelon bins so that we can get to the people that really need it. So there is quite a bit of actual relationship building that goes on between the United Way and the communities and the local governments around it. And honestly, it's been a very fruitful relationship in my eyes.
Well, great.
Yeah.
Well, Casey, thanks for talking with us today. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Unk. The Municipal Voice is a co-production by CCM and WNHH 103.5 FM. Joe Thornton is our executive producer. Christopher Gilson is our producer. Harry Draws is on the boards. And I'm Matt Ford, your host. Be sure to check out our Facebook page and give us a like. And watch out for our CCM chat series on our YouTube page.